everyone, I hope everyone is doing fine. If you haven't already know, the Malaysian government announced a compulsory 14 days quarantine for all Malaysians arriving in the country. The quarantine would take place in quarantine stations assigned by the government. Yesterday, on the 10th of April, my brother and I have decided to go home back to Malaysia. I thought it would be interesting for me to share my personal experience through the flight journey and the arrival quarantine in Malaysia. So before heading to the airport, I prepared some protective gears so I could sanitize on the go and minimize contact. First and foremost, surgical mask, disposable gloves, hand sanitizer, and disinfectant spray. They came in bigger bottles. I couldn't bring them up to the plane with me, so I bought those travel bottles so I could bring them with me onto the plane. Protective glasses prevent myself from touching my eyeball and my face. They fit pretty well and they look kind of cool, fashionable. And I got some baby wipes because I couldn't get like alcohol infused wipes, so I guess this is better than nothing. In my carry-on baggage, I prepared a fresh set of clothing in and out, head to toe, so I don't have to open the luggage for fresh clothes when I reach the quarantine station. And jacket just in case I got cold, gloves and some biscuits. That's about it. So this is how I look, kind of cool. And I have my gloves here and I'll put it on after I sanitize my hand before I go up to the bus. On the bus journey to Dublin, there are signs and indications to keep up with social distancing. There's no one in the airport. So quiet. So empty. So most people in the airport are wearing masks at least. I saw one girl wore like a whole protective jumpsuit, which is quite good, but there are still some people without masks. I noticed one situation, the airport workers, police, they are not wearing masks or gloves or any protective gears. Most of the shops are closed. There used to be like cosmetic shops. I used to buy some lipsticks over here, but no, not this time. So I'm now at the boarding gate. It's so quiet. I looked at the flight details board. There's only like few planes are operating today. I changed my seat because my original seat was like kind of crowded. I have people sitting in front of me. The aisle seat is occupied as well, so I asked the flight attendant if I could switch it in front and switch it to this empty part of the airplane. He said yes, so very nice. Cheers to Qatar Airways. If you are like me, you're still a student and you have assignments to do, I suggest that you bring your laptop, download all your files that you need beforehand so you can work on your assignments on board to save time. I have 2 due dates coming up, so I'm working on my assignment right now. I'm wearing my gloves. Stay safe and stay sanitized. I was given a health declaration form on board which asks for my details and COVID-19 related questions such as countries I've been to, symptoms, and contact with confirmed cases.
Please fasten your seats to your tray table and keep your seat back upright.
Surprise! I'm in Malaysia right now and I'm quarantined in Sunway Velocity Hotel. I didn't have much time to vlog about things that happened after I touched down in Malaysia, but I did record some footages and took some pictures, so I'll try my best to tell the story. When we touched down in Malaysia, we were ushered by the authorities and they guided us through the procedure step by step. From the arrival gate, we queued up in 2 lines and kept distance between each other while waiting to go to the immigration. Well, we have to wait for a couple moments as they are sending us to the immigration counter by the airport bus, and we were sent by batch as well. They were keeping the numbers of passengers on the bus to about 15 to 20 people in the bus at the same time so we don't crowd in the bus or the immigration counter. And in the bus, there are indications and signs for social distancing. Before going through the immigration, we had to undergo a quick health survey where the authority asked us questions and told us what instructions to follow while in quarantine. We were given a form of home assessment just to keep track of our health and well-being. We also received guidelines in regards to the quarantine. I have to say that the authorities did a very good job in preventing crowding situation, so the process was kind of time consuming. After the immigration, we waited at a designated area for the bus to go to their quarantine station. Our checked baggages were lifted from the belt by the authorities, so we don't have to crowd in front of the belt to get our baggages. Up to this point, we weren't told which quarantine station we will be sent. We waited for quite some time as they only allow for around 15 passengers each time to board the bus to go to the quarantine station. After about an hour and a half, it's my time to board the bus. But before that, our baggages were sanitized and disinfected by the authorities. They even helped us to carry the baggages onto the bus. Loud cheers to all the heroes at the front line. Thanks for keeping Malaysia safe. After that, we were safe to board the bus. Only then they told us which quarantine station we would be sent. And they gave us a slight brief of what to expect when arriving at the quarantine station. They then gave out a snack pack with a bottle of water, bread, and some tidbits. On our way to the quarantine station, we were escorted by the police. When we arrived at the hotel, we have to wait in the bus for check-in as they are doing it bus by bus, and it's very time-consuming. After about an hour of waiting, we were greeted with the fully coated heroes. They sanitize and disinfect our baggages again before checking in. It is important to note that we need our NRIC and passport for the check-in, so please bring your IC along when you're departing. So they gave us envelope with like the cards and the forms, and then just one person in the lift each time. So, yep. When checking in, they gave us a packet with 2 surgical masks and some documents with instructions for us. So there are like processes, quarantine guidelines, home assessment tool, and the timetable for the quarantine station, and some general guidelines. I'm really impressed. Oh my goodness. I'll not touch anything first, and then I just take off my clothes and everything, just get washed out and freshen up. My dinner was fried rice with chicken. I could definitely say that that meal was very heartwarming and filled with love and care. So that's almost how the whole journey goes for my first day. And second day, there were like temperature checks and swab tests. So I just went to get my swab test done, and it takes about 5 days for the results to come out. They have like this really bendable what's that called? Bendable cotton bud? I don't know. It's like a V stick, and then they poke it into my nose. It's really deep. It's almost like it's turning down to the throat because I can feel it in my throat, and then they just like twist it around for a couple of times and then they pull it out. It's really uncomfortable and it's really itchy, so I will have to wait for 5 days for the results, and fingers crossed. After going through the whole process, I am very impressed on how smooth and systematic the whole procedure was. The frontliners are doing so great to bring us home and to keep Malaysia safe. Although it looked kind of scary in the video or in the photos, but trust me, in that situation, I felt extremely safe. As compared to the frontliners in Dublin, where they don't wear masks, I prefer seeing the heroes wearing protective suits and geared up to keep themselves safe. Hashtag they stay at work for us, we stay at home for them. There would be some comments on how people should just stay where they are, and in my case, I should just stay in Ireland. And yes, I went through that debate with myself a lot of times. The conclusion I got was, if I chose to go home, the best thing I could do to not cause more troubles to Malaysia is to follow the instructions given by the authorities and respect what they are doing. Be appreciative and caring. They are risking their life for us. We were catered with really smooth procedure, and the condition in the quarantine center is amazing. Happiness lies in contentment. So for those who are same like me who are currently in quarantine, please do not take the caring heroes for granted. If you can, tell the frontliners, thanks for keeping Malaysia safe. That's all from me. I hope this video clarifies doubts and questions for those who are planning to come back. Stay safe and stay sanitized. Welcome home, fellow Malaysians.